wrestler, or if you've ever wrestled, maybe you recognize these three names: David McGuire, Marty Willigan, and Larry Owings. If I can make a bet, you probably recognize the third name, Larry Owings. Actually, those three are Dan Gable's opponents in the NCAA finals. You remember Owings because he's the one who beat Dan Gable. Now, David McGuire, he was one of the all-time greats in the history of the Oklahoma Sooner wrestling program. He won a title the year before he lost to Gable, and he won another one the year after he lost to Gable. Marty Willigan, the standout for Hofstra University, was deaf. But we remember Owings for beating Dan Gable. And the reason we remember Owings is because Dan Gable can't stop talking about him. For all the matches that he's won, he can't stop talking about Owings for two reasons. One is because 50 years later he's still pissed about it. But the other reason is that Dan Gable knows the secret to good storytelling. And when it comes to storytelling, winning sucks. It's true, we love the story of a winner. We love telling the story of a winner. When it comes to telling your own story, it's very predictable and very bland to just come out and say, I won and this is how I did it. That's why in my speech writing kit, I include modules for 4 different kinds of stories, including the one where you win. It's always nice to tell a story of success and triumph, but you need to balance that with stories when you lost or when you failed, a story when you've been wronged by somebody, and also a story when you learned from somebody else along the way. That balance will connect to your audience a whole lot better than, oh, and then I won a medal, and then I won again, and then I won, and oh, I had to work really, really hard, and then I won again. Now, as for my story, if I speak to wrestlers who don't know who I am, don't know my background, I start off with, anything I've ever accomplished in life I owe to the fact that I was a wrestler. Let me say that again, the fact that I was a wrestler. Not for the number of matches that I won, not for the number of tournaments that I won, not for the number of state titles that I won. Which is good, because I never won any state titles. You see, that breaks the ice. That does a lot more than just saying, well, I won a whole bunch of state titles and look at me, aren't I special? That's why my number one story is a story of failure, a story of losing. My senior year in high school, I was a contender for a county title. I can always sit here and say I should have, could have, would have won. The fact is I didn't. I was a contender for a county title, and then February, my senior year, I got pneumonia. And I came back just in time for the county qualifiers and then the county tournament. Ended up taking 5th. I got beat in double overtime in the quarterfinals, and I'd be lying if I said I never thought about what I should have done, but I've since accepted what happened. And I ended up going out getting spladled in my final match, which, if you know what that is, it's a cross between a spatula and a ladle. Brutal. Then the guy who beat me in the quarterfinals, he forfeited to me in the consolation. So even though I took 5th, I ended up losing my last match in high school. And the medal I took home with me was this one right here. And in the back you can see inscribed absolutely nothing. But this is what I got for being 5th place in the county. 2 months later, competing in a track meet in the 4x800, we came in 2nd. This wasn't even a championship of any kind. This is just a regular season meet. And we took 2nd in the 4x8 relay, and I got this beautiful silver medal. And I looked at this, I said, my God, as hard as I worked for that county championship medal, I run twice around the track, I get this thing? It wasn't even that fast. And that's when I realized the medal doesn't matter. And over the past 26 years, my mission in life has been to give this medal a good home. Due respect to the county champion that year, he probably never brought his county championship medal to Peru, where I am now. My medal has followed me through my time in the Marines. After I got out, I moved up to Alaska. I kept the medal with me when I went back to wrestle in college in my late 20s. That's another story I'm not telling now. It stayed with me, and it's with me now into my mid-40s. My mission in life is to turn this medal into a gold medal, make it mean something, and give it a good home. Isn't that a more compelling story, a more powerful story than telling a story of a match that I won? Sure, I'm not a national champion. Sure, I'm not an Olympic champion. But to a non-wrestling audience, they don't know the difference between a district title and a national title. You tell the story about working hard and winning, and that's your only message is this is the winning formula, you have to work hard and thank you very much. It's the same story. Isn't it more compelling to tell the story of some kind of heartbreak? Remember that when you tell stories to your audience.